Welcome to another episode of Reseller Evolution. I'm Scott.
And I'm Carl.
Carl. Well,
Scott, Scott.
we got a guest today, Carl.
Excellent.
Yeah, got a guest coming in.
Yep.
Jamie from ThriftonFire. He's been on here before. He's actually filled in for you a couple times about a year ago, I guess. But so I'll look forward to talking to him shortly. He'll be here soon. And other than what, how's your week going, Carl? How'd your week go?
It was good. I'm back up. eBay. I transferred everything to .ca.
And the American sellers are flooding your store.
Well, ironically, I have sold postcards to Americans since I.
Oh, okay.
And postcards are easy because I can put those to the letter post, so they're not affected by the stuff that's going on. But the rest of the store is up. And like I said, it took about 3 hours. I used 3D Seller or something like that. And I'm still fixing some of the things. Like I might have been able to transfer things better.
Yeah.
Because I lost some of the proper business policies for shipping. And maybe I should have mapped them. I don't even know if it's possible, but anyways, it's done now. It doesn't matter. It's water under the bridge. So
in the booth?
The booth I had the worst weekend I've ever had.
Yikes.
Yeah, but that's fine. It's like I got a lot of other stuff done. So
chatting.
My friend John was in. I got a bunch of very clear plastic bags. Ooh, exciting stuff. But from Amazon.
Yep.
And I was putting shirts and books in them. And it's funny how the plastic it makes things pop in a very strange way. So I ordered a whole bunch more because I wanted some with various sizes. So,
okay, this is a little bit of a personal question, but have you had any problems using your credit card on Amazon?
No.
I'm just wondering because I kind of was wondering if maybe there was a rash of because I had my credit card declined twice with Amazon. So I go and I check my credit card online. Everything's fine. I go into my email. And they wanted me to authorize this usage. As soon as I clicked on it, it reordered it. But if I didn't go into my message or look for it, I wouldn't have known it was canceled. Maybe and they did it twice. They did it to two different purchases.
Oh, that's strange. Yeah, no, I didn't have any issues. It's kind of scary how easy it is to buy something on Amazon.
Yeah, I'm wondering if maybe they had some problems or there was some sort of scam going on. First of all, you start panicking. Uh-oh.
I've had that money go? Yeah, I've had it denied. I forget what it was for. Something really strange. And I called them up and it was nothing. I don't even remember why,
but as soon as I went in and clicked on the I did this I authorized it. And then all of a sudden I will go back to Amazon. There might have been another click or something, but basically, once I clicked on it, I know what it was. I had to re-enter the information. I had to agree to it, and then I had to re-enter the information, and then the purchase continued. But it was canceled, and then it just continued.
Oh, that's strange. Yeah, no.
It was really strange, and I'm like, okay, something must have happened for all this kind of stuff to be going on, but I don't know. There's no fishy business on the card or anything. I don't know. It happened twice, so I'm I just didn't know what was going on if you dealt with it. So
yeah, no, I don't order from Amazon that often, but I have in the last 2 weeks, so without an issue. So
I did a couple plastic bags, and because I needed plastic ones to put posters in. I didn't have any for that size.
We're buying the same stuff.
And then I'm revamping my upstairs booth. Yeah. So I went in and ordered a couple of horror masks and gloves. And then tomorrow, I haven't confirmed it yet with the guy, but he said, how's tomorrow at noon sound to pick them up? So I said, that sounds good. Here's my number. Give me a call with your address and I'll come pick them up. He hasn't replied to that one, but it looks like I'm getting 3 mannequins.
Yeah.
And they're exactly what I need. So okay. I'm looking forward to it. So I'm going to have Freddy's going to be eventually. Jason Voorhees, Friday the 13th, Mike Myers,
Yeah.
and I'm going to have Jeepers Creepers guy.
Okay.
And they're going to be life size, and they're going to be in my booth, and they'll be there the whole time near the horror movies and all the action figures and different things, right? So I don't know.
I think it's cool.
I like it. I like it. So I got like human hands, like looking hands, but they're like 2 pairs of hands. They're rubber gloves that go over hands, but they kind of look dirty and like big, like killer hands type thing.
Yeah.
And then the other one is some claws with long nails.
Okay.
And they're kind of human looking, but at the same time, they're very definitely monster like.
Yeah.
And they're going to be for Jeepers Creepers. So I'm looking forward to it, dude. It's going to be.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
Fun.
But what started me with the Jeepers Creepers is that's one of my favorite horror movies. And I think everybody likes Halloween and Friday the 13th. So those are everybody's. But I went out to a yard sale and I see these Australian Outback oiled like trench coats.
Yeah.
The ones that cowboys wear on the ranch and stuff when they're riding the horses, but they're oiled down and everything. Well, I'm like, that's what the Jeepers Creepers guy wore, right?
Yeah.
So she had $10 on one and 20 on the other. And I said, if you do 20, if you do 10 on each, I said, I'll buy them both. And she goes, okay, they're worth $100 to $300, by the way.
I know. We used to sell those in my parents' store. It's their Outback ones.
Yeah.
Like green. I mean, green or brown.
They're expensive. So
yeah.
But I got $10 into it. I'm going to use it as a prop for the
that's fun
creature. But it's dark. It's kind of got that. It's definitely got some wear to it. That's perfect. Not any rips or like it could be worn more, but I'm not going to destroy it. I'm just going to put it on this mannequin because I might eventually sell it. But anyway, I think, and I mean, Myers' character from Halloween is very simple. It's just a garage, just a service center guy, right? Like a pair of overalls type thing. And so I mean, I got enough of that kind of stuff around. So,
well, that's cool. Speaking of horror, I actually picked up 7 VHS horror movies on the week from the flea market. I think the best one probably is Halloween 3.
That's not a bad one.
Yeah,
you might even get $15 out of the booth. What's it go for online? Like $20-$30?
Yeah, 30 to 40 actually.
Okay, I kind of think I sold mine online for $30.
Yeah, that's in the right range. Like
okay, because Friday the number 3 seems to be a bit rare, and there's one cover that's better than the other cover.
Yeah, I'm talking about the cover I have, whichever one that is, but.
So one cover is slightly better than the other, but I think the movie was so bad that it kind of didn't get as many out there as it is kind of more rare now, right? It's
exactly.
But because it's horror and it's Halloween, people want it. It really had nothing to do with the original Halloween.
Oh, I haven't even watched it.
No.
Oh,
it's got a silly concept. Actually, it's probably more relevant today than it was back then. But it's basically kids can watch this advertisement. If they wear the mask or something like this, their brain starts to melt and mush.
Okay.
Yeah, and then these people try to, anyways, based around.
There's a reason it's considered bad.
Yeah.
It was funny though when I picked up the movies. Everyone people around me "Are you taking all the horror VHS tapes?" And I was like, "Yes."
Yepper.
Then someone came to the booth saying, "You have horror VHS tapes?" It's like, "Yes, but I'm not selling them for wholesale. That's for sure. I need to check them out first."
Well, I think you'll be surprised that you probably even get your $30 for that kind of stuff out of your booth. At least I can.
Yeah. I just didn't. What I don't want is when I buy something wholesale, I don't want to I want to check it out first. I don't want to just reflip it quick, which a lot of people around me might feel different, but I want to know what I have.
No, for sure.
So I hid it. What I'm doing now in the booth is I'll hide stuff because every time I had it anywhere visible, anything,
That's what they wanted.
That's what they wanted, and it's
Yeah.
like, no, I hide it, but this guy knew I had the stuff.
Yeah, dude. It's the same thing at the thing. As soon as you put like, as soon as you put like, I'm gonna these mannequin things. I'm gonna do all up. They're gonna look cool. I'm gonna put not for sale. Please do not touch, and everyone's gonna want to buy them.
Yep.
You know, I mean, if somebody offered me $500 for it, I'd totally do it, right? Like,
Yeah.
I might have I mean, with the mask, I'll have maybe 125, maybe 150 into them. Like,
Mhm.
you know, like, I mean, the most expensive one's going to be Jeepers Creepers, but the other two, the masks were actually much cheaper, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not even going to buy a hat for Jeepers Creepers guy because the hat is $175
Oh, geez. Yeah.
for the hat.
Crazy.
I'm just going to go and look for a similar looking hat. Eventually, I'll find one. I mean, there's Mennonites all around here. It'll just be one of those type of hats. I'll just find like a dark brown one, right? So it's kind of like a cowboy hat with an oval top, but it was more rounded. It's not folded.
Yeah.
So I'll for sure I'll find that. Sometimes they even have auctions, so they definitely have a lot of yard sales. So, but yeah. So, anyways, but back to the thing is, yeah, I get it. As soon as you don't want to sell something, piece of furniture, a shelf, or something like that, because that's when they want to buy it. So,
that happens too.
Yeah,
but it wasn't too much of a problem this weekend though. I didn't even make rent, so
yeah. I'm trying to think of this weekend. I mean, August was, and I've said this before, was probably the best month. This month is right on. It's good. It's right on line. In line, but I don't think the Saturday and Sunday was like spectacular. It was just kind of a normal thing. But but the month is right on track, and last month was a really good one. Best month of the year, probably.
Well, I saw you had a really good sale today.
Yeah, but guess who bought it? A U.S. person.
Oh, how did they do that?
I don't know.
Oh man.
But they can't pay for it.
They can't pay for it?
No. Like a $300 that car part thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have it set. I have it set up so it can only be sold to Canadians. There is no international. There is no U.S. buying, like shipping. I've had that happen before where someone from Australia had bought it. And I just waited to the 4 days, and then I put buyer didn't pay. He got mad at me, and I'm like, "Yeah." He goes. It's not that I didn't want to pay. He goes. I wanted to pay for it. He goes, but you wouldn't ship it here.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
that's so the guy from Italy or something, right?
It was Australia.
Australia. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
The Italy guy was mad too, but he didn't. He might have bought it too. I don't know, but I know it was definitely Australia. So I'm like, oh, you know what? He's actually got a bit of a point there because it probably reflects badly on him. So I should have put shipping address as an issue.
Right.
So that's what I'll do with this one. But yeah, it's a U.S. guy.
I'm just seeing if any of your items are actually shippable to the United States. Just curious.
That one could have been shippable based on when it was made. But again, there's no clarity on whether antiques are still exempt.
Oh, okay. Because I thought you kind of made it so they couldn't. You changed your mind on that.
I did. This is what I'm saying, Carl. I changed that. I changed all of it. So
you got to fix it because right now you can actually buy stuff from the United States on your account. But we'll talk about that later.
How come he can't pay for it then?
I don't know, but I can look.
That's not my problem then. That's eBay's.
Well, when I check your listing, right?
Yeah.
I can buy it with to the United States. So.
Well, you can buy it, but you can't pay for it.
Oh, you can't pay for it?
You can order. That's what I'm saying. This guy hasn't paid for it.
Because like when we're doing, like you shouldn't even show this. You shouldn't show as an option though. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
I
he
don't even
hasn't
know
paid
why it's
for
an
it yet.
option. Yeah, I
Awaiting
know.
payment.
I
Can set.
understand. I
Yeah.
understand. I'm
So
just
that
saying it shouldn't even show as an option is what I'm trying to get at. And I don't know why it
it
would.
shouldn't. But like I said, that's happened before in another country on other items,
Yeah.
and they couldn't pay for it, and they asked me that they'd like to buy it. Will I ship it to them? And I said I don't. So is
Uh,
what it is.
we'll figure that out later. Don't get distracted
I've
on.
already figured it out. But
Yes.
yeah, I was really happy when I saw the cha-ching. But yeah, $350 that would have been.
Yeah. I did have one person reach out to me saying they wanted to buy something, and then I told them, "Oh, you can't buy it right now." I said all I said was, "You can't. I can't ship to the United States. I'm not shipping to the United States right now." And they were saying, "Okay, thanks for letting me know." So
Okay, so I'm going into yeah. I went into sell similar, and there's no nothing to do with the U.S. It's Canada only.
so if you want to talk about it, we can talk about it. But basically, is that when in my experience, when I look at someone's accounts
Yeah,
and they have shipping turned off to the United States, it'll show no listings when you change the shipping to address. But for you, it is showing items. And when I looked at your listing, one of your listings for a basketball jacket or jersey, I mean,
yeah,
it shows as an option to ship to the United States where it shouldn't even show anything. So I don't know what's going on.
yeah.
It
It
says
shouldn't show.
Canada Post track packet to USA.
Yeah, it shouldn't show anything.
Yeah, so there's something there going on, but we're worried about instead of getting stuck in this hole. It's
But anyway, well, thank you for the congratulations, but to no
yeah.
avail.
Sorry, I didn't know it was a tease.
It was a tease. I'm like, oh yeah, no problem. Oh yeah. And then I'm like, how come he hasn't paid yet? You know what I mean? And then
Yeah,
I don't know,
yeah.
a couple hours later, I'm like checking it out, and oh man, but, oh well. But anyway, I have been getting okay. Like, I shouldn't say that. Let me just say, the first week that it happened, I had a really good 6, 7 figure sale, something like that. But honestly, it's just dropped right off.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not even getting watchers, like I used to or anything like that. I had a sale going today. It was a $30 action, like a toy soldier. Um, the guy's, I think it was Quebec, but yeah, I mean, it's dropped off pretty dramatically,
Yeah. I
to say the least. Carl.
yeah, I know. It's like I just hate, I don't like being negative. Like I tried putting a positive spin on,
Yeah.
and like I'm glad that my store's back online, but it's hard to replace 80% of my sales. Just like
Yeah.
like,
Well,
and there's
I'm
no,
hoping, I'm hoping the international shipping helps.
yeah. Well,
We'll see.
it can't hurt, right?
Yeah, it can't hurt for sure.
So
Um, I did take some stuff to auction. I've done a couple auctions now. Both of them did probably a little bit better than I expected. To be honest,
yeah,
I was happy with them. You always have some things. Oh, I should have went for more, but there were some things in there that also went for much higher than I expected. Right.
okay,
So I think overall, I'm I'm pretty happy actually, and it was stuff that I would just wanted to get rid of, but
oh good,
yeah. So not stuff necessarily that I wouldn't have put in the booth by any means or put online, but it was stuff that was kind of in that do I want to deal with it category, or it's kind of big, or there was just,
yeah,
or I think a couple of people would like this. I think it should do well in an auction. That kind of idea, right?
yeah,
But there was a guitar, it was an electric guitar. I paid $80 for it and a PV amp at a yard sale. And it sat for a couple of months in the booth, but it was taking up a lot of space, and I didn't want to bring it out of the cabinet because I didn't want people messing around with it, breaking it. So I didn't know what to do. So I thought, okay, I'll take it to the local musician guy that, sells instruments. And he didn't want it. He said he had too many right now. He goes, maybe bring it back later or something like that. Put it in an auction, got $150. Right?
Yep.
Like, okay, that's all right. A radio went for 120 in the first auction. So, I mean, there was also some duds, things that I thought might go for 30, $40 went for $5 or $10.
Yeah, it's gonna
But
happen.
I'm okay with it. It's another option to start clearing some stuff out of my house, out of my brain. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? That kind of thing. So,
Oh, good.
and I think we got to start thinking outside the box and thinking of different angles, right?
Well, like I think I mentioned last podcast, I know there's a lot more people selling on Facebook Marketplace. That's for sure. A
Yeah.
lot of people gone that route.
Yeah.
Um, you know, for me, I don't want to deal with that. So, but I think what I'm going to do now is just get some more listings up because my store was pretty stale, anyways. To be honest.
Yeah.
So it's a good chance to go through it, maybe pull backs and stuff. Also, I'm going to try and add, because you don't have to wait for an international shipping program, of course. So I might just start adding countries anyways, because I never really bothered doing it because I didn't need those sales, right?
Yeah.
But,
I don't know if you add countries, Carl. I think they do it. I think, don't they?
well, you have to add where you ship to in your shipping.
No, because all you do is ship it to Mississauga.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that's in October. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm talking about now.
Yeah, I'm not going to worry about it now. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
few weeks away. I'll just wait for it then. I don't want to get into trying to learn everybody's shipping. I'm going to ship it to Mississauga for $10-15 and
Let them
Bob's
deal
your
with it.
uncle.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, no, I understand that.
Yeah.
I'm just trying. I'm not saying I'm going to do this. I'm just like the reason I said that is that there's some stores around me I watch, and one store is hilarious because it's basically a clone of myself selling the same things. And
Oh,
so
really?
yeah, it's funny. It's like everything they pick, it's like they were spying on me or something. Exactly what I pick up. It was kind of funny. But anyways, and I was looking where they ship to, and they ship throughout not the world, but lots of places. And say, okay, I could, and they charge like $17 or $18 to ship there. So I might do that. Like for small stuff, it's fine, right? Like you're not going to get dinged.
Yeah.
And the big thing with these shipping to these other countries, they know about like duties and stuff when it gets to their place. So it's not like they're going to be shocked by that, as opposed to the Americans that are shocked. So, but we'll see.
I mean, it could be very interesting. And I'm going to try to be a little optimistic here.
Yeah.
But I think when it comes to like vintage toys, 70s, 80s, 90s, I don't know. I got a feeling that there might be some abilities there, and I'm gonna go off this because I had a guy pay 200. I think he paid $200 for an item, and by the time he was done, it was around 285, and it was a small little advanced D&D. But I'm just thinking, some of those vintage toy things, there might be what do you call it, like certain models or certain things that were made and we maybe here but we weren't there,
Yeah.
but they want it for that collection. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking we might have some things there. I know I had some pamphlets, and they were the old motorbikes from the
Yeah.
70s, and they were dealer brochures in very good condition. And I know the one guy in Germany wanted them.
Yeah. If it's a rare enough item, they'll just pay, right?
Yeah, well, like this was Japanese. It was Yamaha. I'm sure Germany would have those bikes too, but for some reason, the dealer brochures he couldn't get them in Germany. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like he was willing to pay that extra shipping. It's a brochure.
Yeah.
It's not. It didn't cost a whole lot, but it was still like another $20, 21, $22.
Yeah. Like when I was collecting portrait miniatures, I would be more than happy to pay what probably seemed to them an exorbitant price to get it here because I didn't have a choice. Is either pay that price or don't get it.
Yeah.
Right. So it just right now with the Americans too, it's kind of a case of like a lot of them don't know what's happening, and that surprise is the issue. But for the Germany one, like it's good to be open up to that anyways. There's no real reason not to ship to Germany, especially once the international shipping program comes in. Like Germany's actually an exception because they have these rules about packaging and all that stuff, but let eBay worry about it. So,
And another thing I sold to England was a Royal Dalton. It was a Santa, like a Christmas one. I
yeah.
think it was Santa and Mrs. Santa. And it was a bit of a rarity. And yeah, she paid the extra shipping and everything. So
Okay.
actually, to England and Germany wasn't as expensive as I thought. But when you start going to Australia,
Yeah.
that's insane.
I just do UK right now. And I'm
Yeah.
not even sure if I do UK on Canada.ca because I never listed there, right? So I kind of neglected all my business policies. So actually that was the other thing too, is like I had to clean up. It's like I was charging $5 to $7 to ship a postcard. So I brought that all down to like $2 to $3 in the right range, right? But just because I never shipped anything on, I never used eBay.ca anyway, so I never fixed it because I never used it, right? But so my policies were slightly out of date. Super expensive shipping.
Anything else before we get to Jamie?
Yeah, I did have something else happen. Okay. So, I put a poster up in my booth, and I put out my new cards that I was talking about. Anyways, it is getting me leads.
Okay.
And so one of them was from a few weeks ago. The guy contacted me, and he had a bunch of M&M collectibles, like the candy.
Yep.
And they're not a huge seller, let's be honest. The collection, for that stuff there might be some rare ones, but a lot of them are not. And this was kind of I was not negotiating, but talking to the guy, kind of like when I did before with the wrinkle dogs.
Yeah.
But I wanted to handle this a bit differently because it was just one collection of one type. And anyways, he had contacted me and made me a big list of them, right?
Yeah.
And he gave me a value of what he thought it was worth, right? And so I went through and I came up with the value, and the values that he was giving me was about twice as to about a third way too high.
Yeah. He was probably looking at some older comps or values, because they used to be like at one time quite collectible, but I think they dropped off.
I think they have dropped off.
Yeah.
And, I didn't want to come just at this guy saying like, what you're asking is way too much. Right.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is I remember talking to him at the booth, and he had a much more reasonable value out there at that point. Right.
Yeah.
But now it's like 4 or 5 times that amount. So anyways, I wanted to make sure I was doing this right. Because like, for me, I'm playing out all this and trying to like figure out how to deal with this sort of thing. Right.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to get advice from people, and everyone's saying the same thing. It's like, yeah, you can't buy it for what he wants. Right.
Yeah.
And some people actually had M&M collectibles at the flea market, and they're saying, yeah, they're sitting here at $10 or $15, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I actually used ChatGPT to come up with an answer to the guy, because what I overthink is insulting someone, right?
Do you want me to say what I would have said? And then
yeah, I do.
Okay.
But is it a joke answer or is it a real answer?
No, not at all. Not at all. So kind of give me a little bit more of a synopsis of how he come to you, or what kind of price range he's looking at.
So he has 53 figures.
Yeah.
He wanted about $5 a figure.
Well,
but
that's
the figure
that's not all much. That bad.
But they only sell for $10 to $15, and they're slow sellers.
Okay, and how many figures has he got?
53.
53. So you're looking at about $250.
Yeah.
So offer him $200.
That's funny, because I wouldn't buy them at that. It's just
Well,
not worth it.
okay. Let's say you sell 25 of them at $15. There's $300 and you still got half of them left.
It's funny. I'm much more greedy.
How much greedy do you want?
I know. I wasn't willing to pay more than $2 a
See,
piece.
if you say if you break it down to $2 a piece, he's going to think you're nuts. But you say, okay, that roughly comes about 250. I said the best I can do is 200. I'll give you 200 cash. Now he's not thinking about $2 a piece. He's thinking 200 cash.
Well, I didn't say $2 a piece. I gave him a flat amount.
Yeah, 200.
It's
If
funny.
he's
I
at
didn't.
250,
I don't.
I
This is
thought you were like thinking he was. I was thinking he was asking 10 or $15 a piece.
no. So here's the thing.
Yeah.
I went back. Before I said this, I said, okay, tell me the top 10 or 15 because he checked prices, right?
Yeah.
And the top 10, 15 he gave me, he was completely wrong for pricing, right? Much lower. Like they sell, but he's selling much. He's coming up with a price saying like they sell from 20 to 25 to 50 for some of them, right?
Yeah.
When they really sell for 10 to 15.
Yeah. See, I wouldn't even get into that because here's you've
This
already
is interesting.
given him your hand. So here's how it goes down. He goes, "Oh, I want to do better than 200." Just say, "Listen, dude, I'm going to be sitting on these for a long time. They take a long time to sell.
Yeah.
I don't know much about them." I said,
Yeah.
"But that's my point. I'll do 200. I don't want to do any more." And now he's got the option. He can either take 200 or he can beg for 250 and not get it. But I don't want them. You
That's
know what I
funny
mean?
because for 200, I don't want them either. I don't
Well,
want. I would never pay that
then why analyze it too much? Like, I mean,
because I want them much lower.
if you're not going to take it for 200, then like the item can't be worth even worrying about. Like, you know what I mean? So
No,
that's
I don't know what you mean.
if that's if I wanted them, right? So
I don't
that's where I
really
would have
want
been.
them.
You're sort of getting three kind of snuck in there anyways. Are they in the boxes? Are they dirty? What's the situation on those?
I don't know. Some have boxes, but don't forget, he's only telling me the top ones are worth.
It does. I don't even care. $5 a piece. I don't even care if they're worth 3,000 or worth $10. If they're $5 a piece, and I can come in a half of that, you're already at 250. Plus, you got three extra ones in there, so you're really under about 225, 235 a figure. That's fine with me.
Wait. Our math just went skewy.
Okay, you're saying he wanted $5 a figure.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me see if I'm doing this right. $5 a figure at 53 of them.
Yeah.
So if there was 100 of them, that's $500.
Yeah.
So half of that's 250. Plus you're getting three. So I would have went right down to 200.
What? Why did you jump it to 100?
What's that?
Why did you jump the math to 100?
I never said 100.
Oh.
I said 250.
Okay, rewind a bit because
Okay.
I already lost me.
So if there was 50 of them, or sorry, if there was 100 of them at $5, that's $500.
Yeah, but he doesn't have 100. He has 53.
Okay, this is what I'm doing in my head, Carl. Let me finish.
Okay.
But because there's half of the 100, which is 50, the 500 also goes in half. So I'm right off the math. I'm like, okay, $250 is what he's really wanting here.
That's what he's asking.
That's what he's asking. So that's $5 a figure, which I don't think is unreasonable, to be quite honest with you.
Oh, really?
I don't think so.
I wouldn't touch them at $5 a figure.
Like, you're talking about the M&M things that are about the size of like a football type thing, and they come in different, like.
Well, there's different sizes, right? Like,
yeah.
I don't know what they look like, right? Like some of them are going to be bigger, right?
And some of them might be a phone, or some of them could be like holding out a hand where you put candy in, or there could be
like just a vinyl figure the size of your, like a little toy, right?
Yeah.
It's
like, I mean, if you're talking about a 2-inch one or something like that, that's different, but that's not
well,
what I'm picturing.
this includes that. Because
I'm picturing the bigger ones that come in the cases and they have that right. See-through plastic that you could put them in the box and display them on a shelf, or you could take them out, whatever. Like, that's what I'm thinking.
Some of them are like that.
Yeah.
But they only sell for $10 or $15.
Yeah. So here's my way of thinking. You're asking me. I'm just
Yeah,
telling you.
no. I'm enjoying this because
Yeah. So
you
I'm
come
like
yeah.
thinking, okay, $5 isn't too bad. That's about $250. I've already got three freebies in my mind there because it's 53, and I'm doing all my calculations around an even 50. And I'm going to drop it down to 200, but I'm not going to give him a penny more. If he doesn't want 200, that's it. I mean, I don't think he's being unreasonable.
So
If if
happy
I'm
with
at a yard sale,
a $5 net?
if I'm but you're not getting a $500 net. If you sell if
$5
you're
net.
selling 20 of them or 25 of them at $15, that's $300. You've made your money, and then you made an extra $100 on that, and you still have 28 of them left to sell.
Yeah, but they take up a lot of room and they're big and bulky.
Well, then, okay. So this is if I wanted them. If I didn't want them, I wouldn't take them for $100. Thank you for your offer, but M&M things, they're just not my thing. There's a lot of vendors here that would probably be happy to have them, but it's really just not my gig. That's the other option. I'm only going if I wanted them. This is what I would have said. If I don't want them, then I'm just going to tell them I don't want them.
Hmm.
Like,
Okay. Well,
why
people,
would you
if
agree
people
to
could
take
comment
them?
on this, I'd be very interested in hearing what people say.
Why would you take them if you didn't want them anyway?
Well, I want them if they're cheap enough. I want them if I make a good profit.
Right. I mean, so you sell half of them, you make $100. You got the other half, even at $10 a piece. That's another five. That's another $250, right? So you
Yeah, but
make
it takes such a
300.
long
You
time.
make a profit of $350 on a nothing deal, like on a very simple. You put them in a couple of totes, or you put them on a shelf at home. You take 10 in at a time, and when a couple sell, then you grab more. You never buy M&Ms again until those are gone. But you've got. But if you think they're that hard to sell and they're not worth it, I wouldn't buy them to begin with. But I'm saying if I wanted them, that's what I would do. I mean, if the guy was asking for $10 a piece, I'm still not paying more than $200 for them,
Hmm.
right? Because I know in my mind, but I don't think $5 is an unreasonable ask on that.
Okay.
I wouldn't want to pay $5, but I don't think that's unreasonable, personally, especially if they're anywhere from $10 to $20 a piece, in that range. $5 a piece, I think, is kind of reasonable. That's just me.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
but I think just to be clear, it's the top of the range ones I was seeing that selling $10 to $15, right? So there's going to be a bunch that sell for a couple bucks. That sort of
Well,
range too.
this is what I'm saying. If if they're small ones, or they're little inch ones, or the size of the Smurf, that's not what I'm picturing. I'm picturing the ones that are like kind of like
It's a
your
mix. It's a
football
mix. Yeah.
size,
There's
right?
some of those. It's
Yeah.
a mix. I don't even know what the collection looks like.
Oh, well, so I don't know then. I'm just assuming that they're kind of like your football size, and because I've seen them a lot, right? And they got
Yeah.
the big
Yeah.
gloves, and they could it could be they're usually like a plastic, but it could
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
like a cookie
You have the right thing
jar,
in mind. Yeah.
or they could just be two of them kind of doing something funky,
Yeah.
or sometimes they come with an M&M package in it that's usually not suggested to eat because it's probably from like 10, 15, 20 years ago. But yeah, but I think it goes
Yeah.
for anything. That's a general thing. I mean, it's like jewelry. If it's a bunch of garbage jewelry, I don't want it. But if it has potential to have some pieces of gold, or maybe some higher end costume jewelry or something like that, you know, all depending on the environment that it's in, to make that judgment call. Like, I don't know. I just kind of outweigh way it is. But I mean, if they're the bigger ones that I've seen before, I think they take a long time to sell. I don't think you get more than $10 to $20 for them,
Yeah.
and that's kind of where I would be making my judgment call on that.
Okay.
But if they're smaller ones, like if you're saying they're size of those little Smurf figures and stuff, I don't even know if that would sell. I don't
Well,
know.
it'd be a mix of the two, right? Some of the definitely the bigger ones.
Right.
The other thing is they're a really slow seller. So
They are slow.
when I looked on eBay, the ratio is like 10-1, I think, of people have them up to solds.
But eBay's a little bit different because
And I wouldn't put them on eBay
right,
because
no, I know because
it's
of
a bad
shipping and
combo,
yeah. But sometimes I find things like we've talked about this before. Definitely things can sell quicker on eBay for more money. But there's a lot of times there's a lot of the smaller $10, $15 things that people don't have money to do big like toy soldier collections or they don't want to collect like the high end transformers or something, like, you know what I mean, but they don't mind going out and finding a $10 M&M guy because that still brings back memories. So I find that kind of stuff actually does well in the booth.
Well, I did ask other people who were there, and they said their stuff wasn't going,
Right.
but who knows, right?
Yeah.
Because
For sure. To be honest with you, I probably wouldn't buy the deal, even if they were all the bigger ones, because I'm not into that. I mean, if the guy had 10 of them and he wanted $5 a piece, I would negotiate probably the same way there. But I don't know if I'd want 53 of them, to be honest with you.
it's funny because I wouldn't mind 53 of them because then it's worth my time to go out there and get them too, right?
Yeah, well, if they're going to sell. I just wouldn't want them hanging around. You know what I
That's
mean?
that's the thing too with that slow resale rate. They take up a lot of room.
Yeah.
There's no big valuable ones there, so I can't even put those on eBay to pay for everything. And I usually I don't want to pay 50% of the value. I usually try to pay like a third of the value when I buy stuff.
Yeah.
At,
But I
at
think you
most.
are paying a third. If you do the calculations, you are paying a third.
Well, you said
Like
200, right?
I said 200 for 53 of them
Yeah.
if they're like $10 to $15 a piece,
Yeah.
right?
So I guess
So
it is in that range. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
so I think that is, but I wouldn't break it down to I wouldn't and this is a tougher one because it's not like a really popular item,
If
right?
it's Dungeons and Dragons,
Then
I would
you're
pay
all
whatever he
over it.
asked.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where I wouldn't try to nickel and dime every like individually because now he's kind of seeing different values. But if you want 250, like that's what I'm thinking. I'm only going 200 on this, and I really don't care if you say no. The deal's done, but I will do 200. Like if you come with Adam with that, he's going to take your 200. You're still going to make that profit, right? You sell half of them, you're up $100. You sell the other half, you're up another 300. So you're up $400 on a $200 investment. You get 600 back, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's
Okay.
just that's
Yeah.
just how I
No.
work it. I
I
know
want your opinion. Yeah.
we're kind of using an item that really none of us want, but I think I
That's
would
it.
play it the same way no
Yeah.
matter what. Now, if it was toy soldiers, I'm going to assume like I'm first of all I got to look at condition because condition is going to be huge. So if they're new in the
Yeah.
box, that's a no brainer. That's a whole different thing. But condition matters too. Like you'd have to see it. I would not commit to a deal without first seeing the inventory.
Yeah.
I wouldn't verbally say, you know what, dude, I'll do it. Even when that guy came by and he had all that pen and like he had all those things he was using for displaying pens, and I really did good there. I said I would come to the storage unit and see
Oh
it.
yeah.
He goes,
Yeah.
"Oh, you'll definitely be happy." I said, "Well, I don't want to commit to it, but I'll definitely come and check it out. It interests me enough." We opened up one box. I said, "Okay, I'll take them," and there was like 8 or 10 boxes. I said, "I don't even have to look through the other stuff. This box is fine."
Yeah.
And we just loaded up my truck and that was it. But
I
he said
think
the price. I didn't even go down on his price. His price was fine.
If it was something that had higher values than 10 to 15 and it was something in demand,
Well, then he's going to ask more, though, Carl. That's the problem,
I
right?
know, but I would have like treated this different, right?
Yeah, for sure, for
Um,
sure.
but
And
when I got,
he would have treated it differently as well.
you never know. We don't know, right?
Well, if he's a collector and he knows his values, I'm assuming he's going to have the same kind of mentality towards something else as he does with these. But I mean, if it's his wife selling it, he's going to just take it. You know what I mean? She's like, I just want it out of here. You know what I mean?
I just need to wait a few years.
Yeah. Like, I'm sick of looking at these things. They stare at me every time I'm watching TV. Just take them. I just want them out of here. That's what's going to
Well,
happen.
it was a fun thing to do. Like the guy never answered back to my last one I sent him. So I
Yeah,
was waiting.
I wouldn't even have given him a verbal. I wouldn't even have said anything. I would have just said, "Hey, dude, I'll come and take a look at him." And you, this is the main thing, Carl. Don't commit to it, but don't say no. So what you're going to say is, I always have to, because people describe the conditions differently. So before I commit to anything, I'd love to come and take a look at it, because you're not going just to look at the M&M collection.
I know it's
You're
everything
going to
else.
see if he has other stuff,
Yeah.
right? And just say, like, well, I'm here. I might as, if you got anything else, if you got something in your, in your garage, I'm not looking to take the art off the wall or dishes off the table. But if you got something that just sit in a box in the garage, let's open her up. I'm selling stuff, so I'm buying stuff. So, and then you never know where it goes, right? So,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that's once you get the foot in the door,
Yeah.
right?
Well, well,
I'm not here to take the art off your wall. If you got something stored in a box somewhere, and you just want to get rid of it, I'm
yeah,
here.
I agree. It's just I'm not that desperate for stuff, right? What I'm trying to do is narrow down my sourcing to be more efficient, because what I don't want to do is just like when I'm in those situations is I'm not at my best too, right?
Well, because you think, and I was driving Carl one day. We might have had a conversation, and we ended the conversation. I'm still thinking about the conversation, but I just sometimes I get the feeling, and I don't know if you tell me if I'm wrong. I could be, but I think you think everybody knows what you know or are in the mindset of what you are.
They think just like me, yeah,
Like,
obviously.
so put it this way: how many people know what de minimis is? That
Right.
isn't a reseller. They don't
Yeah.
know. They don't know. You know what I mean? So just because you know the value of something, they don't even care about the value of something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So don't give them too much credit and knowledge. They might be a brain surgeon, but they don't know that Dick Tracy toy is $400. They
Okay,
don't
that I
care.
agree with. I've been told off for that before. Uh, don't don't teach the seller,
And
right?
don't like, I'm not saying they're dumb. I'm not saying that at any means. They're probably a lot smarter than me. But all I'm saying is, don't give them credit of knowing what you know, because they don't want to know what you know. If they did, they'd be reselling. But they don't care. They just want to get
But
rid of it.
in this case, I was trying to do the opposite, where I was trying to teach them that it's worth a lot less than they think it is. So their asking price was unreasonable.
I don't know, dude. I honestly, like, I mean, for a collector to say they're $5 a piece, that's what he's kind of asking for. You're still going to knock it down. But I'm thinking, I don't think that's unreasonable to me. Right? I don't see. I haven't seen everything, but I'm thinking if they're the ones in the package, which is I've seen more. I don't even know if I've seen anything, and then the ones that sit in those football size ones that
Just
sit in the
to
packages.
be clear to everyone listening, there are really good M&M collectibles, right?
But
I'm just saying the list he gave me, it was none of those, right? No big home runs.
yeah,
So
but you haven't really seen them, so you don't know the condition. You don't really know the sizes of them. I guess, is that true?
well, he gave me the names of them, so I just looked them up.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't even have got that far. I would have
Yeah,
just said, "Yeah, I'll be over tomorrow. We'll take a look at them."
yeah, I
I
don't
said,
like doing that. I want to
You're a
leave the house.
reseller, Carl. This is sourcing. But no, but I would have said I'll be over tomorrow, 2 o'clock. You know what I mean? Whatever, or whatever they say.
Yeah.
I'll be over tomorrow. We'll see you then. That's it. That's
Well,
it. End of conversation. I don't want to talk anymore. That's it. I'm done. And then when I get there, you know,
you're much more willing to walk away once you get there, though, right?
yeah, for sure,
And I'm not.
100%. And I'll give
I'm
them
not.
suggestions. Like this stuff isn't going to go anywhere. Go donate that because you're just going to pay.
I don't feel that comfortable giving advice.
Yeah, just take this. My advice would be to take that and donate it. This kind of stuff isn't too bad. This is what I'm willing to pay for it. If you don't, if you're not happy with that or whatever, then maybe have a yard sale
So
or make it sound like it's a. And I'm just making this up now, but
I know.
make it sound like it's a big chore. You could go around and you could hit different antique stores and maybe, people will buy this and you go to another one. You can give them like an explanation that's
This guy
like,
spiel,
dude, this is going to take you 3 months to get rid of that. You know what I mean?
and I just give you cash right now, and you're dealt with it, and it's all gone.
Yeah, that's it. That's
I
it.
know.
And
So this is what's fun. This is what's fun about the podcast, okay?
Yeah.
Because we have different experience levels, right? And I think that's what's interesting. Well, hopefully interesting to people listening is that we are coming from different personality types too.
Personality types. But I think your personality types, you're very like, I don't know. You've said it before, and I sense this, but you're nervous. Like
I am nervous.
You're afraid of offending somebody
or making a mistake.
I'm just there talking to the guy. Like,
yeah,
like,
I can talk to people. I talk to people all day. Sunday, I talk.
But the conversation is about their stuff. Like, I'm not going to go, oh man, that's amazing, that's brilliant. Like, I'm not saying that kind of talking, but I'm just going to say, well, this is what I can do. Or do you have a price in mind, and let them kind of up with it. It's however you want to do it. It's a game, dude. It's just a game. They're playing the game too. If they know what they have and they want to maximize that stuff, they're going to play you like a fiddle. They're going to play you. And I've had that attempted on me before. And you basically you either end up buying and regretting, or you walk away. You walk away. You know what I mean?
I buy and regret. Wrinkle dogs.
Yeah, exactly. Or I remember this one time, this guy said, oh, I don't know. But he had so much stuff and he knew everything. He knew exactly what the prices were for the stuff. And I ended up buying stuff that he wasn't showing me, but it might have been something on the wall. You know what I mean? So what I ended up buying was stuff that he didn't really have an interest in, but he was ready to sell it. He was ready to sell stuff. Like, he just wanted, I don't know if he needed more money or if he just was moving or what the situation was, but that was what was going on. But I ended up overpaying on a couple things too. Right.
Yeah.
So he did get me, but I also, where I made my better buys was on stuff that he wasn't into showing me. He didn't think I would have an interest in, but it was hanging on a wall or it was a sign or, but anyway, I'm just saying, like, play with it, dude. Have fun with it. Don't get all nervous, man. It's just fun. It's just fun. And you don't know, like, if you're nice to them and you don't buy nothing, it could still lead to something later. Leave it open. Like, dude, this, you know what? They gouge me, man. I'm paying 15% plus I got to pay rent. Like, it's hard, right? I do this for fun, or I don't know, make up something. But do I just say, like, I just have to watch my pennies, because if I get stuck with something, like, I'm losing money. I'm not here to lose money, right? So if you're happy and I'm happy, the people that I sell under, they're happy. That's what it's all about. But
yeah. I guess, like, when I talked to a couple of other experienced people, right, they felt that my price range was in the right range, but it's hard to tell without actually seeing the stuff, right? I think for me, it was a case of, like, it's getting a lot of big, bulky things that are very slow sellers that are going to take up a lot of room in the booth. I want a really good profit margin to make that time commitment worth it, right? That's the way I looked at it. But anyways, yeah. Well, we'll go from there. Now that I'm being, like, chagrined, ripping off.
I don't think that was totally unfair from what I'm picturing in my brain.
Yeah.
And
it was a mix, like I said. Don't just.
And I would still bring it down a little bit, but
Okay.
But I'm looking across the room here, Carl, and I'm seeing so much toy train stuff in the box. I'm seeing die-cast cars in the box.
Yeah.
Do I want to take up space where I could put good stuff that might move quicker? Right? So that plays in my head too. There's a lot of scenarios that we didn't account for. I'm just kind of going through the negotiation. But those things play into effect too, whether I even want the stuff. But if I want the stuff, I don't think that was a bad buy. Like, you got to remember, you're being invited. It's not a yard sale. You're being invited to someone's house. You're being invited and asked to come and check this out for them, like, because they're interested in selling. So you're going to pay up a little bit more in a lot of cases. Not everything, but in a lot of cases, especially compared to a yard sale. But you could also be invited there because, listen, I just want all this stuff out of here. Just come by, take a look, and tell me what you think. And then go from there. You know what I mean? So, but this guy seemed to know what he wanted. He seemed to have a price in mind. And until I see it, like, from what I'm visualizing, I don't think that was unreasonable, even though I'm still going to go a little bit lower. But I don't know. Kind of rambling on, repeating myself, but I think that's where I go. What did ChatGPT say anyway?
Exactly what it said. Do you want me to look that up?
If you want, sure.
Because I did worry about this, because I'm a worrywart. What can I say? It's going to take me a second to find it. Is there something else you want to blabble on about while I find what it said?
Not really. I enjoy going to those places. And I will repeat something again, but remember, it's not just about those items. Just make it quick. Don't even ask them about all this stuff. Just say, I'll come and take a look at it. Like, once you get there, then you can say, well, I know these things are really tough sells, or these small ones, like, I don't even know if you get a couple bucks for them. Like, you can start putting it down then before he's even giving you a price, right? Because once you start acting like you know what the hell these things are about,
yeah,
even if you don't know, just say, these little guys here, and he'll correct you if you're wrong. He'll say, oh no, those go for $100.
I've never been quick on my feet.
And I would say, are you serious? I don't know much about them. I know there are people that do have these. I've seen them, especially in the 90s and stuff. But $100 for a little one, and then I got to check that out. And now you're not. You just say, wow, and then then you can teach them that. But don't get into teaching them too much. Just like,
no,
right? I don't know.
If there being like some potential home runs in that list,
yeah,
I might have upped it and gone a lot further, right? Because he's a collector. Don't forget, he's a collector, right? And I asked him for the top 10 or 15 items in the collection. Because if I can get my money back out of the top 15 items, right?
Yeah.
Then it's worth it.
Yeah, but what if he thinks the top 10 or 15 items is what he paid for them out of the store at $19.95?
True. It's possible. But right? He's the collector, right? Like,
so he bought them, and they got a $19.95 sticker on them, right?
Yeah.
He's a collector because he's been collecting them since he's in his 20s. He doesn't know what they actually go for on eBay. Obviously, he doesn't, because he's wrong. But what if it was the opposite was true? Now you just said, what's your best ones? Right? Now he's going to say, well, let me check them out. You know what I mean? In his mind, before you said that, he might be thinking $20. But then he goes and checks them out, and they're worth $100.
Well, I put everything into an Excel sheet, and I use a computer to how to answer this.
I would just go look at it, dude.
Scott, and like I said, I'm not quick on my feet. Like, I go blah, 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 blah. Like, when I'm there, like, I'm not good at that. This is why I use Excel sheets. This is why I do all the shit, right? Okay.
I don't know.
Everyone's like waiting with bated breath to find out what ChatGPT said.
Okay.
I asked it for a polite and respectful template.
Oh my God.
Hi, blank. Thanks for sharing the prices you found. I can tell you've put some time into looking these up. I've also done some research, and the numbers I've been seeing are quite a bit lower. closer to, and then it says your range, which I put in a number for that, right? That 10 to 15 kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to undervalue your collection at all, but at the prices you mentioned, I wouldn't be able to make it work on my end. If you're open to it, I'd be more comfortable offering blank. So it says either your offer or a range,
Huh.
right? Then it says, I completely understand if that's less than you were hoping for, but I figured I'd be upfront so we don't waste each other's time. If things change, I'll be glad to revisit it. Best, my name.
I don't know.
You don't like that? I thought it was pretty good.
I don't mind it, but it sounds too. There's no personality there, dude.
What?
You got to have personality. You got to have fun with them. You know what I mean? You got.
Okay,
You
what?
don't just go right. You don't go right to business. Like, you know, you kind of have fun with it a little bit. I enjoy the people's history. Sometimes they're like very unique individuals, right? So you get in there and you'll see some crazy things or different things on the wall, or you know.
Oh, yeah, I'm talking about a written response here, right? I'm very different when I'm there in person.
Oh,
right?
this is actually you were to write.
This is for email.
I wouldn't even touch email with a 10-foot pole. I'll just say I'll see you tomorrow. 2:00 sound good? Yeah, okay. See you then. I don't care. I'm not desperate enough. I'll see you tomorrow. Tea and crumpets.
I don't want these fucking M. Ooh, sorry, everyone.
But you know, um, I I think if he's starting off where it's not too reasonable, I in my mind with what I'm visualizing, and I could be wrong. Like I haven't seen it. That's why I wouldn't offer anything until I see it. I don't think he's too far off. I mean, he's not asking for $10 for $10
Yeah,
item.
I've had that happen too, where people expect you as a reseller to pay them retail, like you're a collector. I have had that happen. In those cases, I just walked away because it was just so like stupid. It's like, I'm a reseller. Why would I pay you retail prices here? I'm not. They would talk to you too, like you're a collector, and it's like, I'm buying this to resell, but I've walked away from those in the past. But
Yeah.
I like the direction I want to go is buying more collections anyways, because I like that for the booth.
Yeah.
Because for one thing, it's easier for me to research one type of thing, and I find collections tend to do better in the booth because it attracts more attention than odd bits.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
And then also with collections, I can cherry pick the really good stuff to go on eBay. Well, I could have done that until recently. So, there's all that too. But either way, I'm not upset or anything about not getting this deal. Like I said, these are really slow sellers and they take a lot of room. So,
yeah.
Anywho.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I think that's
no, you said everything. It was good.
Go about it.
If people do comment, I am interested in what people say. Like, I never want to pay 50% though. But if it's $15, then maybe they were $15. But who knows what the rest of them were like?
You're not paying 50%. You're paying kind of 50% of what his asking price is, but you're not paying 50%. Like, you're not even paying 50% of his asking price. If he's asking basically $250,
you're 80. You're asking 80. You're offering 80% of his asking price.
Yeah,
which would make it. Which would have resulted in a deal.
In his asking price, yeah.
Yeah, if I was at 80% of his asking price,
yeah,
like that's close enough that you're going to close the deal.
But I have to, first of all, I'll backtrack because I want to make this clear. I would have had to see them in person because condition and everything else means a great deal, especially in those things. But second of all, I'd have to kind of make sure they're the bigger ones that were in the $10 to $15 range. If they were small ones and I didn't think they were worth $5 or only worth $5, I mean, the scenario is completely different. Outside of maybe one or two or three of them. But if they were what I have in mind, how I described what I think they probably were, or what I was thinking they were, I don't think he was asking crazy amount. I still think they're $10 to $15 a piece. You sell half of them, you're still making a profit, and you sell the other half, and it's all profit. That's kind of that's where my mindset is. That's where I would be. So But again, if I get there and 50% of them are worth $5, that's a game changer. Or they were broken, or they were boxes were destroyed, or they were covered in dirt. I mean, that's a whole different ballgame. I don't even want to touch them then. But I'm assuming if he's a collector, 85 to 90% chance they're probably in good condition. And if he's a collector, they're probably in the box. Not necessarily, but
Well, he told me which ones were in a box, right?
okay.
He gave me that. There were, it was not 0, but it wasn't like 25%.
Yeah.
You know, it's like 10% or something.
Yeah, you know what though? Honestly, like you probably scared him off. Like, why is he?
Oh, I totally scared him off.
He's probably like, oh man, I just want to sell these things and get them out of my house, and this guy's asking me 50 questions. You know,
It's good. If anyone hears like some guy gets killed by the flea market from a M&M collector, well, that was me.
You don't say no, Carl. You just ask them questions until they can't take it any longer. Can you fill out this spreadsheet for me?
Okay, would that work? That'd be great.
Yeah, exactly. Sign it like a contract. I'll get my lawyer to look it over, and I'll be back there next week.
Well, I hope some people actually listened to that whole thing and enjoyed my experience.
I think you gotta just not put people on too big of a pedestal of knowledge of that. Even if they're a collector, they don't know. And he has a collection. Maybe he isn't the collector. Maybe it was his wife, or you know, who knows? I don't know, dude.
Yeah,
but,
I don't know the complete scenario here too. I met him very briefly when he came in, and
yeah. But say, hey, dude, I'll come over tomorrow and take a look. Thank you so much for coming by and talking to me about it. That's awesome. I can't wait to go and look at it. Like, be very positive about it, right?
Well, if I start selling more stuff, then yeah.
And don't even put it down. Just say, you know what? Like, I understand the collection about it, but there's so many of these out here, and I have to clean these, or even this little broken piece. I mean, it's a whole game changer. People don't. It's just and blame me. eBay's changed the dynamics of collecting. There's so much of this stuff out there now and available that people are only looking for pristine in the box stuff. You know, I've had people with a little mark in the box complain because the box wasn't pristine. That's how crazy it's getting out there. So for me to pay that type of money for this collection, I think it's great. But these are the problems I'm going to run into. And you're not lying. You're just, you know, use that spiel. You know?
Yeah, I never lie.
Well, I mean, you don't have to tell the full truth. You just don't lie. Don't
tell.
Yeah,
I don't need to teach. That's right.
No, but I don't think I said anything incorrect.
No, I don't think so either.
No, that kind of stuff happens, you know? Yeah. So, like, you got it in the box, but the plastic's pushed in. You know, I might as well sell it out of the box, or I have to glue it, and hopefully it like I'll have to glue it back in the back, and that means it has to come out. So now it's not new in the box; it's used in the box. It's a whole different ballgame, right? Like,
yeah,
these little things matter. I know it doesn't
do matter.
You, but as me as a buyer, this is what I got to equate in my calculation of what I'm going to pay for this, because everyone that buys on it comes to me to buy this. This is what they expect.
Yeah, and I guess for me too, it's like when I'm there in person in these experiences, I get more rattled. I'm not like at my best. Like I won't notice damage. I won't notice things missing.
We all miss those things now and then, for sure.
Yeah,
but you could even what if would you have paid $150 for it?
$3 a piece.
Like if you're,
that would have been like the absolute max, because it's like.
Oh. Like, because if you offered $150, he still might have taken that.
Yeah.
If you're there in person, because now you can kind of like say, like, dude, I think these look great and I like them, but they're going to sit for a long time, and that's money on the shelf, right? So I'm only bringing in a few at a time. I know that doesn't matter to you, but this is what I got to think about before I come up with a number. Like, I'm comfortable at 150. He's going to say, I won't go lower too. And then you can say, you know what? You're a good guy. You invited me to your house. You know, I'll go 165 or 175, but I can't go any higher. It just doesn't make sense to me. I appreciate you inviting me here, and I really value that. But what am I going to do? I'm going to still have half of these a year from now in my basement, which is fine. That's what I do. But, chances are I'm still going to be dealing with this a year from now. So if I have money tied up in all this stuff, like, it's not to my advantage. But I know you took your time out and they're important to you. Like, this is what I can offer. That's it.
Yeah, no, it's good advice.
Right.
Right.
And if you got some other stuff, like, I can pay a little bit more. Like, if you want to add some more stuff to it, let's take a look around. Let's see what you got. Like, maybe you want to get rid of some more stuff, because if you got pocket watches or lighters, I like that kind of stuff. So I'll make sure we work out a good deal for you. But this stuff is a little bit different. It's a little tougher to move. You got some pocket knives, you got some watches, or, maybe some interesting art or something like that. Like, that stuff is what people are actually buying right now.
It's it's hard to make up. Like, when even at the booth, when I have people coming to sell me stuff sometimes, right?
But what if he said this, Carl? Like, I wasn't quite done. What if he takes you out in the garage and just say, you know what, my kid left this. Take a look, and he just kind of opens up a box, and it's all like Dungeons and Dragons books. You know what I mean? It's all this other stuff that he doesn't even have a knowledge in. Just say, like, what would you give me for that box? You know what I mean? If you throw that box in, I'll give you another. I'll pay your $250 for what you want on the M&Ms, and you throw that box in. That'll kind of lighten up the deal a little bit. I'm okay with this because it's a little bit extra. He now has a box out of his garage. You're probably going to make about $2,000 on that stuff in the box, and he got what he wanted for his M&Ms. Everybody's happy, dude. Right? That's how it works, though.
No, I'm not denying this.
Right? Like, that's how it works. He doesn't have a care it's his kid's stuff that he's got to move that box every time he wants to park his car. Every time he wants to get the snowblower out, he's got to move that box. It's a pain. But it's filled with Dungeons and Dragons. It's worth
Stop saying that. It's making me jealous.
But that's what you're looking for. That's how you kind of communicate with them, right?
And then
all of a sudden he's inviting you to church, and all the ladies are coming over, and they say, my husband's got this collection. Can you go? Okay, now I'm a little bit out of hand.
Yeah, now you're getting. Yeah.
But I don't know. That's how it always works for me.
I'm in a booth situation a lot. One thing I have been accused of a bit is being a little too greedy. But
I've never been accused of being greedy at all.
No.
Ever have I ever been accused of being greedy. I will give things away to friends that help me out.
For friends that give stuff away.
Yeah.
Or even people buying from me, like sometimes like in the booth, if I just want rid of it something, I was just like whatever, right? But
if someone's humming and hawing or put something back, I'll say, what like, if you like that, what do I have? Like $35? How about $25? You know what? I'll take it downstairs for you. I'll put it about $20. I'll tell them, they'll change the price tag. You know what I mean? If it's something that I just want to move, it's nothing. Like, I don't need to sit there and $35 hoping he comes back. I'll just, take it downstairs for him and put it behind the cash.
That's my friend John when he's at the booth. He's that guy.
Yeah.
He every time someone comes into the booth, right?
Yep.
He's like, hey, everything's negotiable. Just let us know, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, get out of here. You're bugging me. But John is good at that, right? And he gets sales because of it, right?
Yeah. Like what I say to people, it depends on my mood, because sometimes I don't even want to talk to people, right? I just want to put my stuff in and go. When I say people, I'm talking about like buyers that I don't know. I'll talk to the vendors all day long. But sometimes I'll be like, this is the one I used. Well, it's a little different because you're there all the time when you're open. But I'll say, like, I'm just putting some stuff in the booth today while I'm here. If you see something you like, let me know. Well, I can do a better deal. I can do that while I'm here. But I'm not here every day. But I happen to be here today, and so if you see, so that kind of feel the pressure of, well, I can get a good deal today, but I don't know when this guy's going to be here next, and so, sometimes I will do that sales tactic, especially if it's been a slow month or that kind of thing. So, but Steph, she'll talk to everyone.
I spend
Oh,
all
this is
Sunday talking
lovely.
to people.
This is what you need.
Yeah, I don't do that. I'm not a salesperson. I don't sell. I just like talking to people. I must admit. But
But all right, dude.
time.
Somebody's at the door.
Hey, who is it?
I don't know. Let me check. Oh, it's Jamie. Come on in, Jamie.
Oh yeah,
Thrift
hey,
on Fire.
yeah. How's it going, guys? Yeah, I forgot it's audio only. I can clearly see you guys, but I guess for the listeners, it is Jamie.
Yeah. Well, I got to go do the switch over here, but that means I have to get up to shut these backlights off. So I don't know. I got the front lights. I don't know. I got front lights on, but the back lights are probably blacking it out. So, anywho, Jamie Thrift on Fire. Check out his YouTube channel. Are you still doing your podcast, Jamie?
I'm gonna say no. So me and John have made plans a couple times, and they fell through. He started a new job, and his free time is a lot more limited. I was trying to have him come on just onto my main channel and just sort of so we could have like an open discussion. And for whatever reasons, like I don't hold anything against him, but it just hasn't worked out. Every time we try to plan something, he's a busy guy, right? And I don't blame him. If I was in the situation he was, I'd prioritize my actual job and income over some low tier podcast we're trying to run.
Yeah, for sure.
Well,
Yeah.
speaking of low tier podcast, welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, thanks. I feel right at home. This is perfect.
Awesome.
Well, your channel, Thrift on Fire is actually you're over 4,000 subs now, right?
Yeah.
So
I'm on the run to 5. I think I'm at like almost 4,200 already. It's growing quick. You know what? It's funny. This last month, so in end of August into September, I've just been doing one video a week just because I've been working, trying to relist on my eBay store and whatnot. And the channel is actually performing better with one video a week as opposed to 3, which is it's crazy. Yeah.
Huh. Why do you think that is? Because there's a lot going on in the world for reselling. Do you think that might be part of it? Or do you think it's just quality over quantity? Or
I don't know that the quality is better. I feel like it's more informative maybe when I'm doing it the second, but I think sometimes when I do 3 videos a week, I don't think the video has a chance to really get pushed out, and then I'm putting another video out. So it's really the limited audience who's actually just watches it. There's no chance for it to grow beyond that, because I think when I put a new video out, then YouTube essentially sort of puts the last one on the back burner, and then they're pushing the new one forward, right? So it doesn't get a chance to grow.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I mean, that's my thought process. I know absolutely nothing about it, but
sounds good to me.
Yeah, makes sense.
But, I think people don't realize how long it takes to make those videos too. So you're getting a lot of time back, especially considering you need the time now more than ever before, really.
Yes. Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Okay. Any topics you guys want to talk about? I know not much is going on in the reselling.
Not much is going on. So, I have a couple questions. So I know you had a booth.
Yes.
How is that going?
I'm still in the booth. This was definitely the worst month I've had there. This last, I guess that would have been August. I spoke to the owner a month ago saying I was kind of thinking about maybe downgrading to one of the tier shelves. So it'd be 3 shelves instead of a whole booth, because it's like $50 as opposed to like $170 or whatever it is, right? Just because I only seem to be selling smalls. There was nothing available. So I'm just sort of where I am now there. But yeah, I don't know. It's just, I did ask him, this past month if it was just a me problem, but he said the whole place, it was a really, really bad month there. So I don't know. I definitely still put in the time this month. It just didn't turn into anything.
I'll say this, and I don't mean to rub it in, because I haven't talked to the owner yet, but what I'll do is I'll talk to her for you. I want to I might have to cut that part out of this. I don't know, but I was going to give up my booth, but because of the de minimis and everything, I decided to keep it all. She convinced me to kind of expand it and make it on one big booth instead of having three. I got a really large one. Like I just took that wall out. So anyway, um, but okay, what I was going to say is August was my best month this year, where we are,
That's awesome.
um, and the whole store's kind of doing the same. Um, so just to kind of let you know, I like Mike, and this is why I'm saying I got to be careful with what I say because I don't want, it. But I like Mike, and he's a good guy and everything like that, and he knows his antiques and he runs the store. So I don't know what's going on there with the store, but if he's saying the whole store's done bad, like I don't know, it was our best month, and
Yeah.
it's reflected not just on my booth, but I've talked to other vendors and they're saying the same thing. So
Yeah. Well, I've talked to other people in like Tilsonburg, which would be the next, available one closest to me
yeah,
currently. And my buddies who have stuff there say it's like, it's par at the very least. It's just what it should be. It's not really
yeah,
down. It's not really up. So yeah, I don't know what's going on there. It could be so many things, right?
yeah.
It's just I'm at the point now with my booth anyway where I feel like if I don't downgrade to just a smaller shelf space, I probably will be done in January, but we'll see.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's hard because like even for me this last weekend, like where I had to be there, I didn't even make rent, which is the first time in a
Yeah,
long time. So, but people are there. The hard part for me is trying to figure out what actually people want and at what price level. And now it's all being turned upside down too, because since I can't sell to Americans, I would do the combo where the really good stuff I would put on eBay, and not the mediocre stuff, but the different stuff would go in the booth, right? And the combo was great.
yeah,
But now even that is being turned upside down a bit because like I used to go, well, I still do. I go to the market and I might buy stuff, right? And put it on eBay. So I bought like, for example, a bunch of horror VHS ones, right? And like that will definitely would go online. But now my market is shrunk. It's kind of discouraging in a way, right? Because it's like I still can find good stuff, but the market is online is smaller, so I don't want to overbuy, right? And just have stuff piling up. So
yeah.
well, I've done a couple of different things. I've done a couple auctions now. I got a big pile here that's ready to go for the next one. The first auction I did 50 items. The last one I did 41 items. I'm going to try to hit 50 items for the next one. But I was actually very happy how the auction went, considering it was bigger stuff. It was like a guitar. I had an electric guitar. 150 bucks on in an auction. I couldn't sell it for $100 in the booth. It's
Yeah,
just the booth is not. It's not that type of clientele, right? And
yeah,
it's not vintage really. It's not an antique. It's a guitar. So unless you have a person that wants a guitar, they're probably going to go to a music store. So anyway, but I put it there, 150 bucks. I got some really good prices on this stuff that doesn't really fit online, might have something a little bit wrong with it, like not damaged, but just I don't want to get into details. Like I had a cuckoo clock. It was a big German cuckoo clock. I got like 67.50 for it. That's what it sold for. And I don't know if it's broken. I don't know if every piece is there. So you just put cuckoo clock. You know what I mean?
yeah,
That's it. All right. They don't say it's working. They don't say anything. It's just a cuckoo clock. So there's radios that aren't working. Got $120 on a radio that didn't work, but it was a beautiful radio. It was a Crosley or Crosley, um, nice white. So what are they going to do? Put a couple tubes in it. They're going to fix it up. They'll get it working, and they're going to have a really nice radio. But anyways, I'm just saying. So that's an option that I'm using just to downsize some of my stuff and get rid of some of the clutter. The booth has been doing good, but there's definitely a slowdown on eBay. There's no question about it, right? So
Yeah, yeah. And
um,
auctions are great though. I've got rid of a ton of stuff through auctions.
Yeah.
After I think it was you actually who mentioned to me a couple different ones. I've been using the one in Delhi, but it's great. There's a lot of stuff that just hadn't moved that you could, at the very least, to get your money back out of it.
Yeah.
If not, make some money, and you're not
Yeah.
just sitting on this stuff. And you're right, the stuff that wouldn't sell sells for better money for whatever reason.
yeah. They do take 30%, which is hard to swallow at times, but
I would have donated most of this stuff. So what do I care?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
right. It
yeah,
would have just sat on the shelf and kept collecting dust because I didn't want to get to it, right?
yeah.
So at least it's out of my head. I get a little bit
Yeah.
of money, and we move on.
And
But
that's the exact thing you said to me that made me think that, oh yeah, that is a good idea. Is that like, because I said, oh, I donate stuff and whatever, and you're like, don't do that. You take it to, and you told me a couple local auction places, and sure enough, instead of donating this stuff back to Goodwill or the Goodwill bins or whatever, at least make some money, even if it is just a break even or make a few bucks, whatever. Better than giving it back.
I think it was the hats, right? Was it the hats?
Yeah, it might have been the hats. Yeah,
because you had like 1,000 hats or something silly. Like it was insane. Like, I mean, it was great insane because hats are very good and they're collectible, especially out of the booth and stuff like that. So it was a good buy, but it was like garbage bags and garbage bags full of these hats, right?
Yeah, it was nuts.
How many hats in total would you think? Was it 1,000, do you think?
Well, it was so a Gaylord is like the big cardboard boxes that sit on top of a standard skid, and it was like 4.5, 5 feet tall, and it was full of hats. That's what it was. So and I threw them into garbage bags to get them home, right? Because they didn't want to take the big box home. But yeah, I don't know.
That's on one of your videos too. That's got to be 6 months or a year ago now, right? Was it last summer?
Yeah, I think it was last summer. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to go back and find that one. It's about a year ago, but if you go to Jamie's channel, you'll be able to see that. Like, it was insane amount of hats.
I really love to buy things, even if it's like, that's just buying bulk hats. But I mean, I like to buy anything like that. It's a lot of fun to go through. It's a lot of work. So, I mean, I think when you start doing it,
that's a little gold mine, even just if you just want to throw it in an auction, because you'll put like 25, 30 hats in a bundle, and people will bid up 20, 25 bucks on that. You know what I mean? And how many bundles would you could have endless amount of bundles.
Yeah,
it's insane, right? I mean, just one garbage bag full, you're probably, if you're doing 25, 30 hats, you're probably looking at about, I don't know, 20, 25 bundles of 20, 25 hats. Like, I mean, that's insane, right? So you're probably looking at least 100 hats in that bag, in one garbage bag.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So that's, I would have done that deal too. I think that was smart. And then you cherry pick the really, really good ones for either online or your booth, and you're putting 10, 15 bucks on those really good ones. That was a great buy. But you could be the hat man. You could have just had your whole booth full of hats.
Yeah, I still feel like that sometimes. I still got hats everywhere, but yeah, you're right about eBay. Definitely. I know you said a minute ago there, eBay has got a bit of a slowdown. What I've noticed, and I wonder if Carl feels the same, some things that hadn't sold on .com have been selling for me on .ca that have just sat, things that I thought, oh, should I even relist this? Have you had like some small stuff sell that you're like, oh, that's funny that this sold so quickly?
Not really. Like I just did it yesterday.
Okay.
The one thing is when I moved from .com to .ca, it's kind of like an end and relist in a way, right?
Yeah. How did you do it?
I used something called 3D Lister, I think.
Okay.
Which was free, which is the price I like. It was a bit rough, which is why it took 3 hours. But I would what it allowed me to do is have my two sites, save it as all my listings as drafts on .com, and then relist it on .ca.
Okay.
And I was doing about 200 at a time. But I'd get errors on about 50 of them. And
that would give me anxiety. I'm already.
Well, it's like a lot of the errors were kind of like it was trying to create duplicate listings. Yeah. So a lot of it was fixed. some of it was just weird stuff, like the currency didn't go over right, and so I had to go in and change that, or it didn't. The only thing that the biggest issue I had actually is the fact that I didn't map. I don't know if you could even do this, but I didn't map the shipping policies I have
Okay.
on .com to .ca, right? So I'd had to pick a shipping policy when I was moving over those 200 listings, and so some of them would be in the totally wrong shipping policy. So I spent another hour after that kind of fixing them. But honestly, my shipping policies on .ca were so out of date. Like the prices I was asking for shipping was old style shipping costs.
Okay.
So I fixed them anyway. So I'm not complaining. It was free. Free is good, and it's done. So that's how I did. How did you do it?
So it's funny because I talk a lot about automation on my channel, and I use a combination daily of crosslist magic and cross listing, which is part of Posh Sidekick, which I promote quite a bit. I actually use this really old program called My Hands.
I never even heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I just use my 2 hands.
Oh, I'm a little slow. Oh my god. Cut that out. Cut that out.
It's the original software, My Hands. Yeah, it's pretty high tech. So the reason why I didn't use automation is, first, like you mentioned, shipping policies was an issue.
Right.
Most of the like if I were to use something very simple like crosslist magic that just goes from one to the other, it does not always put in all this item specifics. For me personally, I wanted to put in the country of origin on every single thing.
Oh yeah, I'll still have to do that. Yeah.
And in most cases, I recomped absolutely everything and dropped the prices drastically. So I didn't really just want it to go back the same. So I'm not even done. I think I have almost 400 listings back up. I was at about, after I removed all my hockey cards and stuff and put them on a separate store, I was at about 790 for listings. But I know there's already at least 200 things that I didn't even bother putting back up on eBay. So I'm pretty close to being completely relisted, but it's taken me a couple of weeks.
Oh, a couple of weeks. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not a patient man. This wasn't perfect, right? And I didn't drop prices on purpose. Like sometimes I might have accidentally, like if it didn't accept the Canadian currency, and then I would pick Canadian currency, would take my American price and make it a Canadian price. But honestly, I didn't really care that much because all those items probably needed a price drop anyways.
Yeah,
because I haven't been listing a lot, right? So it was okay. But for me, it was like I didn't want to lose my pictures. Or like for me, there's a lot of stuff I tested. So if I have cameras and stuff, I did not want to lose that, because then I wouldn't know if I tested it before, and that would be a disaster for me, because that's a lot of work. So, but no, I haven't noticed a big bunch of sales for sure switching to .ca. So,
well, I've just noticed some stuff that I really didn't think was going to ever sell recently, which is pretty great. I did get one US sale, which has been such a headache. So I got a t-shirt. It was a button-up shirt, a Robert Graham shirt.
Yeah.
It sold for like $36 Canadian. eBay, and I shipped it with UPS. eBay charged the person $42 to ship it to them, Canadian. It actually cost me like $17. I decided not to refund or anything because I didn't know how the transaction was going to work out. Shipped it to them. They rejected it at the door.
Yeah.
I didn't call them. I sent them a message, said, hey, like, what happened here? And the guy claimed that the person woke him up early in the morning and they're like, I actually do want this. Is there any way you can contact him, have him delivered again, or can you pay? They wanted more money, right, too? So that's why he was like, I didn't really know what was going on. I'm like, well, like, you bought this in Canada. There's duties on it. You have to pay those. So he asked if I could contact UPS, and I did. And to reschedule a delivery, because otherwise it was going to come back to me.
Yeah.
I said to him, if it comes back to me, I'm going to ask UPS to get rid of it. I don't want it back. So I did notice this morning, it says he rejected it again. So I don't know if that's actually true or not. I haven't spoke to him again. So I'm like, why did you ask me to do all that for you just to say I don't want it again? But so that's a headache. I did call eBay after he rejected it the first time, and they said I'm technically covered because he lost his buyer protection when he rejected the order.
Yeah.
but it's still a pain. And even if eBay says okay, you still kind of look like a jerk to UPS, which, you know, after a while they probably won't want to do business with you either, right? So
Yeah, it's all the BS I didn't want to deal with, right?
yeah, I
And the
couldn't believe
Americans are getting shocked.
yeah.
Well,
I couldn't believe somebody would pay $40 to have a $36 shirt shipped in the first place.
well, it kind of goes back to what we were talking about before, Carl, where it's the damage is going to be in the psychological part of it. Like they're just not going to want to buy from Canada because even if these kind of adjust a little bit, or you know, things start to get a little normalized or whatever, I just don't think people are going to buy from Canada or other countries simply because they don't want to be surprised with a bill, or they
Well,
don't want,
yep,
you know what I mean? So
yep,
even if the tariffs or the costs come down a little bit and it gets kind of leveled out and organized, say it's 10%, right? Even if we
Yeah.
decide to, as a seller, eat that 10% just to get that sale, it won't matter because people are just not even going to be bothered with the with the idea of all the problems and headaches. You know what I mean? So I don't know if I'm explaining it right, but I think the psychological part of it is the damage is, you know, it's done and it's just getting worse. You know, because that guy's not going to probably even buy on eBay again if he gets stuck with that bill, and eBay doesn't support him because
Yeah.
he's going to feel he's been wronged. He's obviously hasn't been, but he just was, for lack of a
Yeah.
better word, not paying attention, or you know, being silly. Um, but the damage is done. You know what I
yeah,
mean? The
It
damage
is
is done, and you're
inexpensive.
one person. I'm sure there's hundreds or thousands of these going on, and it's just not eBay. I know auction houses sometimes sell to the US because US buyers, and they'll ship it to them. Well, they
Yeah.
don't even know still what de minimis means. You know what I mean? Let
yeah.
alone know that it's been dropped to zero. Like I've talked to some people in the auction part of it. They had no clue. Oh, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. You know, it's not going to be. It's
No.
not. You don't. If you don't know what's going on, you don't know what's going on. You don't know until you know. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
I know Canada Post now won't even take it unless you have that number from
Zonos.
um, Zonos. Yeah.
Sonos.
Yeah. You need that or like a little QR code they'll give you or something. I haven't used Zonos whatsoever. I don't know. I'm sure at some point I will, but I mean, I thought UPS was going to be a safer option, but I didn't really know how the whole thing was going to play out either. Also, not UPS, the actual duty on that. I asked the guy how much they were like UPS wanted on delivery, $42 American,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
that's another probably $65 Canadian on top of the 40 he already spent in shipping and the 36 he spent on
Yeah.
the, like, that's an expensive shirt.
It's not
You-
practical. No, there's no. It's complete shutdown of business. They said like for small packages now to United States is over the last week it's gone down 80%.
That's
So
wild.
so let's back it up just a little bit here. Canada it's basically zero. If we were to buy something, it's basically zero. So what kind of damage has that done? Do you think because of that, a lot of Canadians don't buy from the US to begin with?
Oh yeah.
Right?
Unless you
So
really want something. It's the same thing. I feel like, like your toy soldier stuff. I believe that an American who really wanted something you have would pay whatever the price is. And there are people that are like that.
Hmm.
But for the average just t-shirt or used pair of shoes or trinket, yeah, nobody's going to pay crazy amounts of money. But for
well,
something that's unique and rare or
you're
collectible, I think
you're
people will
you're
pay.
you're
Yeah.
right to a degree because some of them have been retired and you can't get them. So they're,
Yeah.
even for me to look them up, I have to go to like the original store to confirm that, you know, they put the right piece in the right box, right? And I just kind of quickly confirm to make sure it's the right one. And that'll even say out of stock. You know what I mean? Retired, out
Mhm.
of stock. So those ones I think have a chance for sure to sell. And those guys have money, right? For the most part.
Yeah.
But some of them, there might be like 5 or 6, you know, buy from the US. So those ones they're going to buy from the U.S. because I don't know what kind of tariffs get on those, but they are made of a metal. They're pewter. But is there a tariff on pewter? Is that considered a tin or a lead or what? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So do those metals have extra tariffs? You know what I mean?
good question. I
They're
mean, I
made in
think that,
China, so they're going to be China tariffed.
yeah.
So at the end of the day, I might be charging $60, but it by the time they get the bill, it could be $150.
But I
So
mean, here's where the global shipping program is going to save you because it won't matter. It'll be that guy who's willing to pay it no matter what, and you're going to ship it to somewhere in Ontario, and that'll be the end of your story. They have to worry about the rest. eBay does the rest,
no, I agree. I
and I
agree.
think that'll
Unless
save you on those rare items that people will pay for because you won't have to
yeah,
worry about any of that.
yeah, on the retired ones that aren't available, there are some that there's 5 or 6, and they can buy them in the U.S. I think those ones are going to be bought in the U.S. But no, I agree, especially the rare ones that they can't get anywhere else. So, but I mean, I've only got so many left, so which is probably close to 1,600 to 1,000 is just a rough guess. So it'll keep
Yeah,
me
but
busy for a bit, but.
you're the same. You're a picker with a good eye who you always like weird old stuff, you know. So I think you're going to be fine that way to fall into some other weird old stuff. I think you'll be okay.
I hope so. I don't know. Well, that brings me to the other question, which I did talk to you on the phone about it. But do you see yourself being able to continue this as a full-time job? Like not not what you're planning on doing or anything. It's just like can you see like, wow, this could really affect my goal of doing this full time?
I think I have to change my realistic thought process. So like one of the things I've done currently is listed a lot more things that are electronic based and lots on Poshmark as well. And I've seen some of that stuff sell over there already, which is kind of cool. So I'm going to rely more on that. And the other thing is I need to really drop my prices a lot because I was trying to compete with the higher end US market. I was also trying to look like I was part of the US market. I am no longer part of that market, not in the same way that I was. So I think there's still a market for everything that I want to sell, but I do think I think there's probably a 30% price drop for me. Like I noticed
Wow.
that big time when I started like relisting vintage shirts and stuff that are $100 shirts here. They're like $50 shirts here. Because when you start looking, this is just me, what I did. I started looking at
Yeah.
sold comps in Canada. I
Yeah.
excluded the US when I started to do my research because that's who I'm looking to sell to now, right? So,
Yeah.
and Canadians are cheaper. I don't know. They don't have me. I don't know if we don't have the same pockets to dig out at some of the people in the US, but it just, stuff is getting relisted cheaper than it was for sure, which is fine.
So
It just makes me have to be smarter about buying.
that's an interesting point. So when you did that search, because I did the same thing, and I put Canada only.
Hmm.
Is that what you did?
Yes.
Those are Canadian. And correct me if I'm wrong, because I really don't know. But my thoughts were after I started looking, I'm like, okay, so some of these are in July, early August. So are these still being sold to the U.S. by Canadian buyers or
Maybe.
sorry, Canadian sellers?
Yeah.
So I'm
Maybe.
like, maybe this doesn't even count yet because those are Canadian sellers for sure because it's Canada only, but those could have been bought by U.S. guys.
Yeah. I
Okay.
think it's a smart regardless to look at current cold sold comps anyway. I mean,
Yeah.
I would just filter that way because I kind of thought there is a big difference. Sometimes you'll see, wow, this sold for $90. Why? And you're like, oh, because it was in Australia. They probably don't have a lot of these there, and it's worth a lot more money, right?
Yeah.
So
Well,
there's stuff like that when you start
yeah.
looking,
And I'm sure you guys deal with it too, but I would get like people would come on. I don't know how they see it, but they couldn't finish a transaction. But they'd be from Australia or Spain or Portugal,
Yep.
Italy, and they want these items. And I'm like, I did ship some to England and Germany, but they weren't big heavy items. Like so, the shipping was still, reasonable, I guess, to for a bit. But so you are like, but I don't think that's going to take. I don't think I'm going to gain that 80% of my buyers that I lost from the US.
No, not from Canada.
I don't think
'Cause,
so. Like,
you know,
yeah.
just on shipping alone, right? Like United
Unless
States
they
is right
unless they come
there.
up
They
with
have
some sort
money,
of shipping, maybe there's going to be a shipping ease, like cost. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm asking, kind of, really, Carl.
Maybe. I mean, I've already been slapped in the face with a couple sales to Newfoundland. You know what I mean? Those aren't fun. That's
No,
No,
the
they're
part
not.
of it too, right?
yeah,
The one
But
thing is, the one thing I can say that I have been doing, which is probably technically you're not supposed to do this. So, take this information, do what you will. Um, for certain things that do tend to cost more, I will still go to Stallion Express, print off a Canada Post label, but not drop it off at Stallion. I'll just take it to my local Canada Post. They accept it. I get a pretty big discount rate in some cases still. And it hasn't been a problem. Even when I look
Huh.
on my Stallion accounts, they don't necessarily show scanned in always properly on Stallion, but they still show tracked on eBay and they always get delivered. So I don't think it's a problem because you're still Canada Post. I did speak to somebody at Stallion a long time ago about doing something like that, and they said the only issue is if you ever had a problem, you don't have any protection through Stallion
right.
because you did not drop it off there. But it also can save you $5 or $6 on a Canada Post label that from eBay, depending on where it's going, right?
yeah. So one out of
Yeah.
every 50 is a problem. You still making money, right?
Yeah, if it just seems like, oh, this is a little high on eBay, I'll just kind of compare it over there, and I go, it's like $4 or $5 cheaper. I'll just use this one. So I'm
Yeah.
just
It's
sort of
it's so funny because it depends where you are. Like for me, like I used to use Chit Chats, basically the same thing in here in Ottawa, but
yeah,
Canada Post was the same price under the eBay labels. So I
yeah.
just stopped using Chit Chats completely. But the other thing you can do is since we're in Canada, you can actually have zoning tables for Newfoundland. So you can
Okay,
actually have a different cost for them
good
if
idea. I
you're
should have
using
looked at that.
if you're using shipping policies.
Yep.
So I do that to cover myself. And now, like when I was on .com, I couldn't do that. But now I'm on .ca, I can actually deal with the Nunavut sales or the Newfoundland sales or the
Yeah.
remote BC sales, right? On
Yeah. I mean,
eBay.
worst
So
case scenario on a lot of that stuff, you can go buy one of those $20 boxes and
there's
throw
that too.
something in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that there's all these little things that I didn't really forget about. It just wasn't a part of my everyday life. So I was like, it wasn't
It wasn't
something
a
that,
big factor. Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
it'll be a
The
bigger factor now, obviously.
the other issue too is that when Americans actually look at our stuff now, it warns them that there might be duties on delivery,
Yeah.
which is probably turning off a lot of Americans, even if it's not true. Because like with DDP, if we use Canada Post, they actually won't get charged delivery on delivery. But eBay doesn't really have a way of knowing which method you're gonna use to ship. So
No.
they're caught in between. Like that's why I'm hoping things are gonna be more clear in about a month. Because it's not just us, it's like everyone trying to ship. It's a big mess. Zonos is trying their best, but for them it's really hard too. I've heard horror stories of Zonos charging way too much or too little for tariffs. So I'm hoping it's only been a week or so, right? Since all the, what hit the fan. So I'm hoping some of it's going to be more clear. But I have also seen, like, if you go onto Reddit, you see a lot of stories of people saying, I didn't even realize I was buying from Canada when I bought something. And now UPS came with huge bills, right?
Yeah.
So,
Well, I've said this before, so I know I'm repeating myself, but I don't care as much as when I say that loosely because I do care because this is hurting us. But as long as they know the final price before they hit the pay button, I think we're okay. It's those surprises that I don't like because I wouldn't like it, and that's what's going to hurt most. So if they're on eBay, which is the platform we sell on mostly, and they see, I don't know, an item for $50, and then they go down and pay, and then they see it's worth $80, but they haven't paid yet. They have the chance to cancel to just walk away from it. I'm gonna have to say at this point, because we don't really have anything, I don't care. As long as that's the case, then fine. But if they're paying for something thinking they paid $50 and then they get another $25, $30 tacked onto that when it hits their door, That's where I care. That's what I'm thinking. That's a mess. Do you
Mhm.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, because I don't, as long as they can see what they're fully paying before they pay for it, then that's how they have the full information to make a decision. But when they're not given that full information, that's where it's going to, like, I don't know if we'll ever recover, within a relatively 2-3 year timeline. You know what I mean? Like, the damage is going to be done. It's going to take years before we can get that customer back. And that's where I do care. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I don't know if I'm wording that right, but it's I don't know. The incomplete information and the surprise with the bill. I would be ticked. I would be really, really upset. And I wouldn't know who to be upset with. Obviously, we could go, okay, well, they changed this, the Americans changed it. But I'm saying, like, am I mad at eBay? Am I mad at the buyer? Or sorry, the seller? You know what I mean? Because that's the easiest people to blame,
Oh, for
right?
sure.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to get mad at the seller and eBay, right? And if they're mad at eBay and the seller, they're not going to come back.
Yeah.
At least they're not going to come back to eBay to buy from another country, Canada.
Well, no one likes uncertainty, right? Like,
Yeah.
and that is actually one advantage of having the DDP, delivered
Yes.
duties paid,
Yes.
is that we can take away that surprises from the customer, but the systems really are not in effect yet. Like, you can do that with Zonos, but you can't actually charge the customer. What I want it to be is completely invisible. That would be the best thing, right? Like, if someone's buying on eBay and they search for a price, they see your price. I don't like, the best scenario is if it's somehow new to add those tariffs into that price. That's probably a big ask, to be honest. But that would be amazing.
I don't think they can do that, Carl, because it would be different for everybody.
Well, they would know because they can charge you at checkout.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if they see it at checkout, I see that as happening. But in the listing, I don't know if that would work.
Well,
You're
if
right.
they can calculate it for checkout, they can calculate it for your search list.
Well, I'm just saying I don't know if that's realistic. I mean, I'm not saying it isn't, but I think that would be difficult. I don't know.
What
Yeah.
has to be identified? Where it's made, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And what it is. Does the material matter enough that it would be a huge difference?
I think so. From
It
what I
does?
understand, the like metal and plastic would have different tariffs.
There's been a lot of different answers to that question.
Because I don't put, like, if my shirt's cotton, polyester, blend wool, I don't care. It's a used shirt, and the tariff for used clothing is all the same.
There's
So
a
that's all
hilarious one where someone did that, and the seller put all the different materials in the item, and it charged tariffs at the percent for each single one at full price.
Oh, wild. Yeah, it doesn't
Which is
surprise
not
me.
correct. That's not correct. That's not. I don't believe that's the way it's supposed to work. But it's completely wrong, right?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's where we are right now. Like, I think for eBay, doing the international shipping program in October, I'm sure it's going to be very difficult. Like, I'm sure they've been working on it for a while because they knew this. They knew this train was coming down the tracks, but it's still a very difficult situation to fix. So,
and I don't think they know. Like, some of those people working in customs, they could be a student, they could be new, and they're just trying to do the right thing at the time. You know what I mean? So if they see aluminum, like somebody said there was a twist tie with aluminum in it, so they tariffed it as having aluminum. And I'm like, they just don't know. You know what I mean? And you don't have a supervisor can only look after so many people, and those people are looking after so many things. Like, you know what I mean? So things are going to get mixed up for sure. But
I doubt there's even anyone looking at this stuff when it crosses. Like, it's all computerized. There's no one like going. It's based on what you're putting on the export documents. They just have too many packages to have people actually look at them.
It's scanned through there for sure, but there's still going to be people picking and looking at certain things, right?
Certain ones, yes.
Okay, put it this way. There is no possible way that a scanning system is going to see aluminum ties as being part of that. That
Yeah.
would have been somebody having to open it up and figuring that out. Like it had to have been
I would
because
say it depends on the export document.
well, well, I don't think someone's going to know. I don't even know that ties are made of aluminum. I didn't
Yeah,
know
but
that.
if you wrote on the document that it is, their system will just automatically put that on there.
Nobody's going to do that. Nobody's going to do that. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't know if it's plastic, aluminum, metal. To specify aluminum, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
pewter is pewter, but it's a mixture of many different metals. I don't know what it all is in a pewter. You know what I
No.
mean? Even gold, you could say it's a gold ring, but if it's 14 karat, it's mixed with a bunch of other alloys. You know what I mean? It's not just gold. Like 14 carats
Yeah.
is a percentage. So I don't know. You know, you could be right, Carl, but I'm like, I can't see somebody knowing, well, let me find out what a twist tie has in it, and I'm going to
Well,
put aluminum. Like,
right. I'm not saying they're doing the documents right. I'm just saying what they're writing down. But I don't know. It doesn't. You know what? It doesn't even matter because I'm not doing any of that stuff
I
because I
know.
don't have time to figure it
Yeah.
out. Right. Like,
Yeah.
and I can't
But,
give up 30 to 40% of my gross to tariffs and make a profit. Right.
No. No.
My average net is 50%. I'm not giving up 40%. I guess I'm in a way 80% of my net to this. It's just not a practical thing, right? That's that's why I'm hoping to see what actually is going to happen over the next months
Yeah.
as the normal American buying stuff that wants their stuff gets hit with this stuff, and then they start screaming to their politicians down there, right?
Well,
I'm not
the other
saying
thing, sorry, I
go
was
ahead.
just saying the other thing is there's the underlying issue of are these even legal, right? There's a whole Supreme Court
There's
thing
that
about
too. Yeah.
about if if it becomes deemed not legal, it all has to be repaid to people.
I
That's
know
going
what
to
a
be
mess.
a bigger mess. So
well,
we're really in the
I
mud.
I don't know if that's going to, and I hope you're right. Like like I mean that would be the best case scenario for all of us if it was. But I think the de minimis is something different than the
It
tariff,
is.
Oh, it is. It
Yeah.
is. Yeah,
right?
but
So I don't think the de minimis is coming back. That's the problem.
The de
yeah,
minimis at zero I can deal with though. De minimis with the 30%, 35% tariff, I can't.
yeah,
And the nice thing is they asked the Supreme Court to look at this quickly,
yeah.
which is the opposite of what I had heard. They want them to look at it by November. So that would be really good because then the uncertainty would be gone at least, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, without being too political at all, I would say it definitely the whole thing was a very extreme situation, right? And it's affected a lot of people. And I'm sure they want a resolution as soon as they possibly can, which is probably why they are pushing it through as fast as they can as well.
Yeah.
All right. So I got 10 minutes left and I got to go because I got a lot of things to go. So I just want to ask, and I just want to ask you, Jamie, is there anything that you feel, and we might have touched a little bit about this, but just like what kind of things are you doing going forward to maximize your sales? Like, for instance, are you marketing more of your own eBay store? Are you thinking of doing maybe some like yard sales or going to shows, or like is there anything that you've kind of like, okay, I have to figure out other ways to sell this kind of stuff? It's obviously
Yeah.
got to be sold to Canadians, so how am I going to market my stuff to those people or get people to see that stuff? Have you thought outside the box on any of that, or are you just
Yeah.
kind of like, we'll have to just kind of wait and see how it see, which either strategy is fine. I'm just curious.
Yeah. So I've got my toe dipped in the water of sports cards and collectibles. And I can tell you one thing, Canadians love sports cards and collectibles. Now that can be anywhere from a $3 or $4 card to a couple $100 cards. And they sell often. And I in my secondary eBay store, which I don't consider part of my main business yet, there's like 1,200 listings, daily sales. Now those sales vary from like $30 to $300 a week, depending on what sells. It's not,
Yeah.
sell-through rate on a hockey card isn't the same as you're looking for that super fan who likes a certain person, right? That wants this card that is maybe numbered or run or something. I'm really leaning heavily into that right now. I really like it. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
And it is stuff that does turn over quickly, and you can usually pick it up from somebody who's been into it for a really long time and wants out of it, and they're willing to take what sounds like a lot of money, but when you break down what's really there, there's a good amount of profit. There's a lot of work in it, but it's actually something I've really enjoy. So, I might pivot into that a little heavier than I thought I would have ever, just because it seems to be pretty successful.
Okay.
And steer away from clothing a little bit because it's going to be a harder sell for sure.
Okay, do you want me to delete that part so nobody else picks up on that and tries to do those too, or?
No, I think sports cards is a super hot hobby right now, and it could totally die off. People really are into it.
As anything could, right?
Yeah, I don't really think I have the right personality to try to get to like Pokemon cards and all those things that are super hot too, because I don't really have the time or patience to like figure out what's valuable there. I probably could. I just don't really want to. I just rather stick with like the main sports that I already like. I kind of know some of the players, and it's fun. So it gets to be just sort of like what I've been doing, but just adding a little bit more fun into it again. So yeah, I don't know. I think just pivoting into whatever's working, really.
I kind of find the guys that have been like watching Pokemon for years are the guys that know the stuff.
Oh, for sure.
Anybody like me trying to come into it, it's just like deer in the headlights, man. I'm like, what the hell, right? So if you have a connection where you can kind of have somebody kind of go through your stuff, that might help. But Pokemon is super hot right now, dude. It's crazy hot. Like, and it just keeps going. Like you keep thinking this is gonna stop, but I don't know. The marketing of Pokemon is genius. So
yeah.
And the nice thing about cards is it doesn't take up a lot of inventory. And you're using, like, I think we have the same scanner, right? Like
Epson ES402.
Yeah. So I use that for my postcards.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's amazing. So you can just pump through so much inventory so quickly and list. And
I've been cheating. I'm not cheating, but I mean, I'm using a little bit of a hack. We all know and love ChatGPT.
Yeah.
So what I decided to do is I canceled my premium Canva plan, which I've had for a long time, and I decided to sign up for the paid ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Okay, so that gives you unlimited, not unlimited, but like I've never hit a max of pictures and stuff. So it'll create pictures for me. Yeah. I can drop a front and back scan of a card and say, hey, what card? And give me an eBay title. Yeah. It does. I just copy that eBay title into eBay.
Yeah.
Look and see what cards are listed on sites that or stores that I follow. And within like 40 seconds, I've got a listing up. It's so fast.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And what does that cost per month for that ChatGPT?
It's $20 American.
No, that's not too bad then.
It's cheaper for the year. I just wasn't sure if I wanted to sign up for the year. I didn't know how much I'd use it.
Yeah. But you can use it for. I could use it for thumbnails or anything.
Absolutely, it's cheaper than an employee. I can tell you that.
ChatGPT has made me money.
Yes,
just from printing out like posters and stuff like that, or bolos, or it's amazing. With the postcards, what I was doing is when I make a list, I do a Google Lens on that picture, and that was saving me a lot of time. But ChatGPT might even save more by being a lot better finding that exact thing. So the scanner doesn't do any damage to your cards at all, eh? That's something I'd be scared of.
Some cards that are too thick the machine will get jammed and it'll stop.
Yeah.
But I kind of figured out the maximum amount of size of the card that I could send through. Okay. So I have a pretty good idea. For cards too, there's a wheel inside that you have to remove. It's the secondary wheel that would pull through.
Yeah.
But it stops it from like crunching anything.
Crunching it. Because when my postcards are 100 years old, I don't really care too much.
Yeah.
But cards, condition I know is everything on there. So I was curious about that. Okay, that's interesting. Thanks for answering.
Well, if you watch Jamie's video about 3 weeks ago, he actually goes through the process of how he took that wheel out. So another reason to watch your channel. See, I don't comment on all the channels, all the shows, but I'm watching Jamie. I'm watching. So. Anything else do you want to add before I apologize? I have to cut this short. I have to be somewhere at one. It takes me an hour to get there. So, but after you get back from Paris, we'll have to have you on again, and see how things are going, see how your trip was, but also see how things are going after that. But anything else you want to add, Jamie?
No, I'm really excited about our trip. I had a little bit of negative feedback from people because so we were supposed to go. This is our 10th wedding anniversary. We were going to go from Seattle, drive down the coastline to California because we honeymooned in California when we got married.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
We really didn't want to go spend 2 weeks, a week and a half, 2 weeks in the States and whatever, just because everything going on. So we joked about Paris. We priced it out. We went to Paris. And if I'm going to Paris, I'm going to Disneyland Paris for sure. Okay. We're big Disney fans, 15th anniversary might be Hong Kong. We'll see. We've been talking about that already. But of course, because Disney is American owned, I got some people kind of, hey, you shouldn't be supporting American things, even if it is in Europe. And I'm like, okay, first off, I tried to be as nice. I answered as politely as I could, but I'm thinking, like, first off, you're on YouTube, which is American owned, complaining about it, right? You're probably on your smart device, which wasn't made in Canada. You're probably drinking Tim Hortons, which is no longer Canadian. Not everything you have to do has to be Canadian.
The world is so integrated. You can't split it up like that. Google is American. You're not going to Google anything? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that we want to go on a nice trip to Europe for a honeymoon instead of going to Vancouver, we could go to somewhere in Canada. I've been to lots of places in Canada. I just thought, like, what a crazy thing to be try to be righteous about that. I usually don't even get bothered by comments that you just either don't look at them or whatever.
Yeah.
What a kind of crazy thing to say. Like, what do you care about?
I don't want to get political, but I'm gonna say this. Those are the type of people that destroy everything. You know what I mean? So if we have a little bit of a conundrum right now, it just work through it. You know what I mean? But if we're going to go tit for tat, I'm telling you right now, we're going to be hurting a lot more than they're going to be hurting. You know what I mean? Right. So we have friends in America. We have viewers in America. I love the Americans. You know what I mean? What's being done is unfortunate and it's hurting. But we've already been doing that. Our de minimis was $20. You know what I mean? Okay, so now they dropped the de minimis. It sucks. It hurts. I don't like it. But I'm not going to start hating on America because they're doing what we've already been doing. You know what I mean? And if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. But I don't think I'm wrong. Like, I would love it if we could open it up and have some sort of union where we have free border crossing without an issue and all this kind of stuff. We keep our sovereignty. We keep what we have, and they keep what they have. They did that in Europe. Maybe I don't even know if that's possible. But I think we have to start kind of saying, let's try to work together to see how we can go. Not be friends. You know what I mean? Like, it sucks, dude, and I don't like it. I might have to, and most likely going to have to go back to work full time and not do this, which is what I love to do. So it hurts that much. Mm-hmm. I feel the pain.
You think it will come to that for you?
I don't know, dude. I don't know. I don't know. I hope not. But it's not going to be like today. That's for sure. But I don't know. I'll tell you my biggest fear, and I really got to go, and I don't want to get into it too much, but I think the economy is going to get hurt right now for various reasons. And it's not just what's happening in the U.S. I think it's happening. I don't want to get political on it, but our government over the last 10 years has missed out on a lot of opportunities to sell resources and make our country rich. Fact of life. I don't care what anybody says. That's a fact. We're in a situation now where we could be going into a recession. We could be getting hurt for various reasons. And I don't want to be 2 months down the road, 3 months down the road, trying to look for a job because my reselling is not going to work now. And then there is no more jobs. Right?
Gotcha.
There's a lot of reasons that that's going to come into play, which I'm not going to say on the show because everybody will get upset. You can't talk about things. You get upset, right? So anyways, I'll leave it at that. I really got to go. That's not a really good place to leave it for you, Jamie. Thanks for coming on. Any last words, Carl? Do you want to talk?
No, thanks for coming on, Jamie. When you come back, we'll definitely have to meet up again, and hopefully things will be really different when you get back in a positive way for once.
You know, I don't want. Okay, I'd really like to see what you're seeing in Paris as far as are they talking about issues, and I don't want your. I'm not trying to say, hey, Jamie, this is what your trip assignment is. You guys go and have fun. But if I look forward to hearing if you've kind of tuned into anything along your travels. You know what I mean? Like
sure.
what other people are experiencing. That would be interesting to me. So I'd like to hear that. So, but you know, but enjoy your trip. Well deserved. I'm sure it's you and your wife are probably very excited about doing this. So
Yeah,
I would be. I think Paris would be a great place to go.
The only
what is it? Is it the food, the wine? What's?
Yeah, I think just romanticizing about Paris in general, and then because we are Disney people, like Disney Paris. Once again, like hopefully 15th anniversary might be Hong Kong. We want to go to all of them. I mean, and it's just going to be part of it, so it should be fun. I mean, plus,
is Napoleon like what is France known for? Like Paris, it's known for their culture and their art and all that kind of stuff, right?
I think art, yes.
I think it would be so interesting to go there. That would be a great place to go.
So. Yeah, the only question mark is we do have an Air Canada flight, so we'll see what happens there.
Never ends, eh?
But
they've settled, have they not?
No, they just rejected the union. Overturned what they were supposed. The union told them to accept the offer, and they rejected it still. So we'll see what happens.
I thought they fixed that like within 24 hours, but not really.
They did fix it pretty quick on paper, but go just find any news article. You'll see what happened. It's ugly.
my brother and his family. His daughter was playing baseball for Team Ontario over in the East Coast, and they got stuck there. The team made it back because they were able to get another flight, but my brother and his wife were stuck there for I think 3 days before they could get a flight. So it was definitely a couple of days before they could get a flight back. So anyway. Hey, if you're going to get stuck anywhere, Paris is a place to be, buddy.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Well, have a great time, Jamie.
All right. Thanks so much for coming on, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.